She was caught cheating on me with a celebrity. I've been married to her 37-year-old wife for 12 years, 2 children. Children who are really brilliant and nice. My kid has become increasingly disobedient to her mother over the last 2 years. My daughter would only do or listen when I asked or told her to. She's indifferent to her mother. I wouldn't pay much attention since her mother would berate me virtually every day. For several years, I have been the victim of her psychological and emotional abuse. I believe I could manage it because I'm much bigger than she is, but it has taken its toll on my health. So in February, we went to therapy. Although we made progress, she refused to continue. However, the problem persisted. One day in June, I began to suspect that she was cheating on me. My wife is pretty gorgeous, is quite active on Facebook and Instagram, has many friends, and even attends concerts with her lady friends. I never expected her to betray me, but my anxieties got the best of me. She left the house one day to go some errands and left her cell phone on my desk. So I attempted to unlock it. I obtained proof by searching her social media accounts. Hundreds of texts exchanged between her and a certain man, romantic texts, pictures, and videos. Finding out his name was easy by showing it to his daughter. He is a musician and a famous in my nation, I discovered. One of his songs genuinely appealed to me. Not any longer. I made copies of all communications, secured the phone, and left it in the exact location she had left it. I didn't say anything that day, but my wife saw that I was depressed. That same night, she would hug me and tell me she hates seeing me sad. Her attempts to console me just increased my rage. But I kept the real reason from her. I informed her quietly the next night while my children were sleeping that I wanted a divorce. She was taken aback. When asked why, I responded one word: infidelity. She denied everything, but I answered with her lover's name and pseudonym. She claimed that I was exaggerating and that nothing had occurred. I responded by recounting word for word what they had been discussing the day before. Then I told her I knew everything, that I had seen all of the romantic messaging and images she sent him, not the entirety of their chats. But it was clear that they were going at it like there was no tomorrow. She pretended to be a victim, stating that she needed romance, and I replied that I had done everything in my power to rekindle our love, but she kept aloof with me. She asked for forgiveness, begged me to stay quiet about this, and I've forgiven her because I loved her so much. But there were some restrictions. There will be no more aggressions. She would give me the same amount of time and attention as I provided her. Let's go back to last week. For a while, the relationship had been gradually developing, but I'd observed she was nervous and concerned. So expecting the worst, I approached her one more. She was attempting to see me as her spouse rather than simply a friend. She was trying not to injure me anymore, but she had been acting aggressively toward me since then. She claimed I was too good for her. She put me on a pedestal, saying she didn't deserve me. I told her I still loved her, and she immediately replied that it couldn't be. You may have realized by now that she is emotionally unstable. Anyway, she proposed that we go our separate ways for a bit. I accepted and relocated to my parents' house. The kids had been through a lot, but we kept them calm by giving them a speech about Daddy and Mommy's self-healing and efforts to repair our relationship. They are astute and grasp the concept fast. And today I went home to visit the kids for a few minutes. The wife attempted to get me to spend the night in our bed, but I refused. In front of the children, she apologized for everything. She did not discuss the adultery, but she confessed that she had badly wounded Daddy, pleaded for pardon once again. I led the children to their bedrooms and kissed them goodbye. Then we talked some more. I made a horrible choice of words when I referenced her bikini Instagram photographs instead of urging her to quit the pattern of maltreatment she was subjecting us to. It flipped on me. I apologized, but she requested that I go. It happened on my way out. My daughter stopped me and asked whether I was all right. I described what had happened. My daughter said, "Has she hurt you?" I couldn't respond, but she could see it on my face and in my eyes. And that's when she told me she needed to tell me something. For over 2 years, it was kept a secret. She was aware. She had witnessed the texting while riding in the car with her mother, while accompanying her to the guy's performance. She had even met him while I was out at work. These are the words of my daughter. She even questioned her mother about it. She knew this was completely wrong. My wife, on the other hand, would argue that it was all in her head and that this would lead to a misunderstanding between Mom and Dad, resulting in an unpleasant divorce. That's why she remained silent for over 2 years. This really destroyed my heart. Today, I couldn't talk to my wife. I was afraid I might say or do something I would later regret. I know my wife grew raised in a dysfunctional home. Her parents are untrustworthy individuals, her two older sisters. She is not a horrible person, despite her instability, and she has done her best to be a decent mother. Second chances are important to me. I was given one when I was nearly quietly eliminated years ago. I want to put this behind me and forgive my wife. But I've informed my kid that her mother must change, and that this takes time. My daughter has requested if I may bring her with me. I will, but first I need to consult with my attorney. I, on the other hand, require assistance. I probably see a therapist shortly. I'm thinking of divorcing, but I'm not sure. As you already know, I have promised my children that I will always be there for them if they need me. What should I do about my daughter's hatred for her mother? Should I also inform the musician's family about his wrongdoings? Update 1. She severed relations with the AP. I am not in the United States. In areas of money and property, the laws in this country would be on my side. Lawyers are obsessed with infidelity. In terms of custody, the law favors the mother. When they reach a specific age and are allowed by a judge, children can choose who they wish to live with. I am confident that my daughter will select me without hesitation. My son had no idea. Hopefully, he will follow in the footsteps of his older sister. I'll consult with a lawyer to discuss my choices. Some people have advised that I inform on the musician. I'd rather wait, but I already tracked down his adult daughter. I'll definitely show her the proof, but this is the last thing on my agenda. My current priority is treatment. Update number 2. App's daughter will never find out. No, not from me. This has been deleted from my list. And now for the comments. Second chances are given for one-time mistakes, not for 2-year blunders. She had plenty of time to be sorry or to change her ways for the sake of her marriage and her children. She did not opt out. She's only remorseful because she was CATCAED. She was even so rude as to expose your daughter to her lover. You've put up with her cruelty over and again, and you've allowed her. What type of role model do you establish for your children? Even your daughter is aware, and she appears to be more disturbed than you and your spouse. If you let your partner treat you like way, you will lose her respect. You're setting a bad example for her by preserving the peace and so forth. You should encourage her to be tough and to speak up for herself if someone not only mistreats her in public, but also disrespects her behind her back for years. Get out, divorce, and be a better role model for your children. First and foremost, your soon-to-be ex-wife is a crap parent. Your daughter has known for 2 years. She is a child, but she is not stupid. That must have taken an enormous toll on the youngster. She emotionally exploited your daughter in order to conceal her affair. This is ridiculous. Your wife is a liar who only regrets being discovered. You know she doesn't want to be with you, but she wants her family to be united. Make the best decision for yourself and your children. Staying in this poisonous relationship will simply teach your children that it is okay to put up with this. What if your child were in your shoes? What exactly do you want them to do? Leave her and get therapy for yourself and your children. Divorce her now, if only for your own sake. For your child's sake. Your wife emotionally manipulated and harassed your daughter, instructing her to preserve the secret in order to avoid an ugly divorce. That's a lot for a youngster to bear, and she might develop anxiety or peace as a result. Your daughter is still fairly young, and as you stated, her strained relationship with her mother is the result of her discovering the adultery and being loyal to you and the family unit. That's fantastic. But as you mentioned, her mother has done her best to be a decent mother. So in order to maintain cordial connections, show your daughter that you have forgiven her mother in some way. That way you aren't pressuring her to follow suit, but she may begin to move on from disliking her mother. Telling the artist's family is appropriate, but don't prioritize it over putting things right in your own home. It's worth noting that because your wife was in a relationship where they exchanged explicit stuff, she is at least aware that if you reveal the celebrity, her identity will be made public if the story spreads. It's time for her to say goodbye to her pal. She only regrets being caught doing something out of line. I apologize. I read all of this, and all I can say is that I wish you had recognized your error earlier. You continue to talk about the cruelty as if it were normal, and you continue to subject yourself and your family to it. I'm not sure what makes you think that. It's understandable, but that wasn't enough without the lengthy cheating, lying, and emotional abuse of your daughter. There isn't much to say in these circumstances, since there is definitely something about your attitude or some deeply ingrained self-worth issues that makes you feel like you deserve to cope with it. But now that you have children, you must snap out of it for their sake. My advice is to stop viewing this as a forced lifestyle and to start putting issues into your own hands and acting in your and your children's best interests. Start viewing your wife for who she is and tattoo it on your forehead that maltreatment of you or your children is never acceptable, not even once, so you may be reminded every time you brush your teeth. Thank you for listening to the story to the end, and if you like it, please support us with a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you think about the story.